Hi, everybody. Hope everyone's doing nice and safe and not going too stir crazy, staying home past 6 weeks or more now. Today, I am going to talk about my favorite AC/DC album. But first, I wanted to bring out one that's quite special to me, which is The Razor's Edge. So, this came out in 1990. I was still in high school. This was the first AC/DC album I ever bought when it had come out new. Growing up, of course, you knew the hits that were everywhere: Highway to Hell, Shook You All Night Long, Back in Black. Um, but, for mid to late 80s, aside from the Who Made Who single, I don't remember seeing AC/DC on MTV very much. Then again, I was probably in bed before they started playing a lot of the harder rock songs at night anyways. Um, but when this came out, it exploded. Thunderstruck was everywhere. And the video was brilliant, huge, iconic. The riff was huge, brilliant, iconic. It's so much fun, and they just came back with the vengeance. So, I say this like I was, not aware of them at all, and now I look back and Heat Seeker from the previous album, which is now one of my favorite songs. Very similar, cool video too, but I never remember seeing it at the time, as a young teen growing up. So this one had to pick up when it came out. Magnificent. Such a blast, and super amount of fun. I had a few AC/DC albums before joining the band. I'd since gotten everything when they dumped it all onto iTunes, and I listened to every album straight through, binge listening. Picking out a particular album is kind of hard because I just know so many of the hits that are spread across the entire catalog. But actually, probably the thing that's most favorite to me, and this is a little different from what everyone else is saying, is this is the AC/DC Rock Band game that came out for PlayStation 3 and also Xbox in 2008. So it was kind of a tie-in when Black Ice was coming out. And what they did was they took the Live at Donington VHS, if you remember that, from 92, 93, and took the audio of that, put that into the Rock Band game. So you're playing the full 100-minute show in Rock Band. You're playing drums, rhythm guitar, lead guitar, bass, vocals. You can get up to 3 friends, and all 4 of you play at once. And I played the shit out of this because it was just so much fun. It's when this came out, I was doing hours and hours of Rock Band every day, switching from all the instruments: vocals, drums, guitar, bass, everything. And a lot of people discredit how the Rock Band and Guitar Hero games would actually benefit, musicians. Whereas for me, I'd balance it between the video game and playing, real instruments. But, you're playing it note for note. You are singing every line Brian Johnson sings. You are playing every lead line that Angus plays. You are playing drums straight, Let There Be Rock live for, like the 8-minute version that's on this. It's insane. So, you build up your speed, it builds up your dexterity, it builds up your endurance, and then you go back and you kind of learn where the notes were. But, when this came out and I played through the whole game repeatedly, and when I, joined the band, I'm like, dude, I already know half of these songs where they're supposed to go. And for bass, it's really all an A. This was the biggest thing that taught me how to play the songs than anything else. And the set list is killer. It's 18 songs, and we probably play like 2/3 of these that are on here. So, Thunderstruck, Shoot to Thrill, Back in Black, Heat Seeker, Jailbreak, The Jack, Dirty Deeds, Hell's Bells, Whole Lotta Rosie, Shook Me All Night Long, TNT, Let There Be Rock, Highway to Hell, and for those about to rock, we learned, but we haven't played it. You're playing the live version of that on here, And it's kind of a mix because it was the 92 tour for Donington. So it was a balance between the Bon Scott years and the Brian Johnson years. So you got, Fire Your Guns, you got Money Talks, High Voltage is in here. And Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be. So, it's just chock full of hits. And, AC/DC, you don't get any greatest hit packages, aside from, Who Made Who or the Iron Man soundtracks. So this was actually probably where I spent most of my time on one single, AC/DC product. And, it was killer. Chris Slade was badass. He was such a visual feature of the band at the time too, which I kind of thought was kind of weird. You watch the Thunderstruck videos or the Fire Guns, not the Fire Guns, the one from Last Action Hero soundtrack, and like Chris Slade is almost getting as much screen time as Angus, which is kind of weird, right? So anyways, there's so many cool albums with so many deep cuts that I love, but on a whole though, it is actually this that I probably spent most of my time, or if you just want to say it, probably the live Donington, VHS DVD that this came from is where I spent most of my time. So hope everyone's being safe, and we miss you a lot. We miss playing, we miss rehearsing. And we got big things planned for when we get back together and come out and kick your asses and get to, have as much fun time together as we can. All right, so be safe. Love you. Talk to you soon.